Every 6 seconds, someone over 60 loses enough vision to stop driving. That is not a statistic about blindness. That is the moment you hand over your car keys. Your independence. Your life as you knew it. You feel it already. The dread that creeps in when the sun drops and you know you have to drive home. The way medicine bottles have become hieroglyphics. The fog that rolls in after lunch and never fully lifts. Those floaters that dance worse after you eat something sweet. That is not aging. That is a chemical collapse happening behind your eyes right now. When was the last time you drove at night without that knot in your stomach? When did you stop being able to read a menu in a dimly lit restaurant? 400 clinical studies. The British Journal of Ophthalmology. Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science. The Journal of Translational Medicine. These are not wellness blogs. These are peer-reviewed research institutions that discovered something the carrot industry never told you. Carrots do not fix the root cause of vision loss. Neither do sunglasses. Neither do the standard eye vitamins your doctor hands you in a 7-minute appointment. Those are symptom managers. They do not touch what is actually killing your retinal cells. There is a specific combination of 4 compounds, found in ordinary kitchen spices. In clinical trials, this protocol improved visual function by up to 97%. The exact formula? The exact dosages. The exact preparation method that determines whether it works or becomes expensive dust. That is coming in the next 90 seconds. But carrots and sunglasses were not failing you because they are weak. They were failing because they never touched the real problem, a silent biological collapse happening behind your eyes right now. The villain has a name. Glutathione collapse. Paired with oxidative microdamage. Think of your retina as a precision optical instrument. It has a protective coating. When you were young, this coating was flawless. Like the chrome finish on a new car. But after age 60, that coating starts to peel. Your retina loses 30% of its protective pigment every decade. Not 30% total. 30% of what is left. The math is exponential. And it is working against you right now. What researchers at the British Journal of Ophthalmology discovered was that this peeling exposes raw biological tissue to oxidative attack. Free radicals. Shrapnel from your own metabolism. Without the protective film, they tear through retinal cells like rust corroding exposed metal. Toxic waste begins to accumulate between the layers of your eye. Like sludge building up in an old pipe. The drainage system cannot keep up. Your cells starve. They inflame. They die. And you experience it as fog. As blur. As the slow dimming of the world. That afternoon haze you feel after lunch is not fatigue. It is your optical system overheating. Those floaters are debris in a filter that can no longer self-clean. The halos around headlights at night are light scattering through a windshield covered in microfractures you cannot see. Your doctor tells you this is inevitable. Age-related decline. Here are stronger glasses. But your GP sees patients for 7 minutes. They do not have time to read 400 studies on retinal glutathione restoration. Sunglasses block light. They do not rebuild the internal chemistry that light depends on. Standard vitamins sit in your bloodstream without ever reaching the tissue that needs them. There is a good chance you have tried turmeric before. Maybe in a smoothie. Maybe in capsules. And there is a 95% chance it did absolutely nothing. Your liver flushed it before it reached your bloodstream. Read that again. 95% eliminated before it touches your eyes. Every turmeric latte. Every golden milk. Every curcumin capsule without the right companion, flushed. For years. But there is a single kitchen trick that changes everything. For decades, the solution sat in kitchen cabinets across the world, overlooked, misused, dismissed as folk medicine. Until 400 studies proved what your great-grandmother already knew. The Morning Eye Tonic. 4 spices. Saffron. Turmeric. Black pepper. Ceylon cinnamon. This is not a recipe. It is a precision delivery system. Each compound attacks glutathione collapse through a different mechanism. Together, they create multiplicative synergy that no single supplement can replicate. Piperine from black pepper disables the liver enzyme that eliminates curcumin. Absorption increases by 2,000%. The exact dosage published in peer-reviewed ophthalmology research. Not wellness blogs. Not influencer speculation. Curcumin from turmeric activates your NRF2 pathway. This is the genetic switch that reboots your body and Oppo's glutathione production system. The same system that collapsed after 60. Crocin from saffron is one of the only compounds on Earth that crosses the blood-retinal barrier. It penetrates the wall that keeps most supplements locked out. It carries antioxidant protection directly into dying retinal cells. Researchers documented 42% improvement in macular function. 0 further progression of early-stage macular degeneration. Cinnamaldehyde from Ceylon cinnamon stabilizes blood sugar. This matters more than you think. Here is what most people miss. Vision loss is not just about the retina. Every glucose spike is like dragging sandpaper across the tiny capillaries feeding your eyes. Those blood vessels shred. They leak. They starve the tissue they were built to nourish. Cinnamon prevents the spikes that create the shredding. The exact protocol. 2 saffron threads. 1/4 teaspoon turmeric. A tiny pinch of black pepper. A tiny pinch of Ceylon cinnamon. Dissolved in 4 ounces of warm water. Not boiling. Warm. Boiling destroys up to 60% of the active compounds within seconds. Steep the saffron threads for 5 minutes before adding the other spices. This releases the crocin that makes the formula work. Take it first thing in the morning. Empty stomach. Wait 20 minutes before eating. This eliminates food competition for absorption. The 97% improvement number requires context. That is the synergistic effect of all 4 compounds working together. Not one spice alone. Most people use turmeric incorrectly. No piperine. No fat. No synergy. Which is why they see no results and assume the science is wrong. The science works. The application has been broken. Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. That scares people away. But run the numbers. 2 threads per day. A gram contains roughly 450 threads. That is $2 per month. Less than a single coffee. The cheapest insurance policy for your independence. Compare that to prescription eye drops at $200 monthly. Or the cost of assisted living when you can no longer drive. I want you to picture your bathroom counter tomorrow morning. A small jar of premixed spices. A cup of warm water. 30 seconds between you and your independence. Beyond the morning tonic, 2 additions compound the effect. Hungarian sweet paprika contains zeaxanthin. This is one of the only compounds that physically embeds in your macula. It increases pigment density. The protective layer that age stripped away begins to rebuild. Half a teaspoon daily with a tablespoon of olive oil. Or ghee. Or coconut oil. The fat is non-negotiable. Zeaxanthin is fat-soluble. Without fat, it passes through unabsorbed. Ceylon cinnamon with raw honey. 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon. 1 teaspoon raw honey. Mixed in warm water or taken directly. This stabilizes the blood sugar spikes that shred retinal capillaries between meals. What you must avoid. Boiling water for any of these spices. The heat destroys the compounds you are trying to deliver. Turmeric without black pepper or fat. You are swallowing expensive yellow powder with 0 biological effect. And Cassia cinnamon instead of Ceylon. Cassia contains coumarin. Daily use damages your liver. Ceylon cinnamon has 1,000 times less coumarin. The label must say Ceylon. If it just says cinnamon, assume it is Cassia. The formula is in your hands. The science is settled. But knowledge without action is just noise, so let me leave you with what this actually looks like in practice. Imagine driving home at night with no fear. Headlights no longer exploding into halos. Reading medication labels without reaching for your glasses. Waking up with eyes that feel rested. Clear. Like someone cleaned a windshield you forgot was dirty. The moment you realize the fog has lifted. You can see the individual leaves on trees again. Every 6 seconds, someone loses their driving vision, the fear of night driving. In 30 days, read that list again. The difference will not be subtle. In the next protocol, we dismantle the single breakfast ingredient that accelerates everything you just learned to prevent. It sits in 90% of kitchens. It hides behind a health label. And it is feeding the inflammation your retina cannot survive.